Hi, my name is Jing, and I'm a severe traumatic brain injury survivor. Again, continuing on day 4 with reflections of um, basically my life up to this point. And so now we're technically supposed to be in the second quarter of my life after waking up. So this would be 2013, July, August, September, October. It'd be basically the winter, October, November, December. It'd be the winter, my first winter, basically. And I honestly really don't have a lot to contribute when it comes to remembering what was good about it, because I think my brain was going through such a weird time where it was still going through that flip, the flip of understanding who I was, my disabilities were starting to surface. Um, my mind was struggling to let go of and interpret my past life. And so this part of my life truly is a blur. My memory was not that good. Just factually, what would have been going on is that I would have been in my first semester of pharmacy school. And yeah, I would have just been, living by the hospital just because that's where I went to school. That's where I lived. I probably was going through some really weird transitions because I actually graduated from undergrad technically a year early. I mean, everyone's, higher education career goes a little bit differently. And in my case, I remember I did graduate in 3 years because I figured it would be a lot less expensive to cut off a whole year just by changing my degree from neurobiology to biology. And I mentioned in my last, I guess, reflection that I took AP courses, or not AP courses, just like I took credits that went towards pharmacy. So I was taking a lighter load. I think I was taking physiology at the time, probably. Like I feel like I was just around that area, but that probably still would have been the first part of that semester. And it's just so hard for me to remember because it was just such a tough time in my life and my memory was just getting formed. Now in the future, I can, express with gratitude that even though it's extremely unconventional for brain injury survivors of my disability to go to doctorate school of all things, um, it was probably really helpful for me to be in a really structured environment, to be around people who are really motivated, to be around people who, oh my gosh, I do remember one thing. This probably would have happened actually, technically before this quarter, but I had a friend, and I don't know, I don't know, I'll go deep. I want to detail, but he ran for president of our class for pharmacy school. And we talked about, like, oh, you should run for vice president. So I was vice president of my class, my first year of pharmacy school, too. Isn't that gnarly? It's so weird that I was like able to do that, that I was a leader right off the shoot, even though technically in my own storyline, I was only months old. But that's how I can conceptualize it now, because as part of my healing journey, I just had to learn to let myself go. I had to learn how to just like cut my old self off, even though it was part of me. So sometimes I'll describe this condition like having a ghost living inside of you. It's like you're haunted by yourself. And I still remember questions because at that time, it still lives with me. I don't know when he said it, but at the time I was dating someone. And I remember him being like, when are you gonna get over yourself, Jane? Maybe this is something more for the next reflection, because not that it's like negative, but it was just a learning situation where can you ever get over yourself? And is it fair to ask someone to do that, even though a few months seems like a long time when you're like maybe in your early 20s and it just unrelenting? I mean, I had 20 years of life that I just lost. Like, only to have a few months to get over decades is kind of a lot, especially when you don't have the brain capacity or the energy and you're trying to live your life forward and discover your disabilities. I think for this part, it's just super, super duper challenging. And I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say today. I'm kind of tired and I really didn't want to do this reflection, but I was like, you know what? Just show up. Just show up. Just do it, even if it's not great, and just put it out there. So let's get to the encouraging part. I guess for the encouraging part, we can come to that point about um getting over yourself. You're going to learn early on that a lot of people are going to have opinions about how you should be doing things. And a lot of times those people don't know what they're doing. And okay, this is a positive thing I figured out. Yes, this is tangible advice. I don't know how I knew how to do this, but in the beginning, um, this is how I basically categorized people. It was like a very basic matrix. It was like good, bad, selfish, selfless. And like in that quadrant of people who are selfless and what I was determining as good, um, those are the people that I started gravitating towards. One, because I didn't have the social ability, the capacity, the part of my disabilities align more with what people may recognize in individuals who are labeled with having autism of different types. And so like I didn't have the social cues. So to be around people who are just like, naturally generous, naturally kind, it really was therapeutic for me. But it also, I think, was a quality that I super admired. So it was something that I started, building into my ethos at a young age. So I guess that's like a tip. A tip is like, if you're trying to heal, try to spend time around people who aren't selfish and demonstrate qualities that, you would consider to be good. And then try to embody those in yourself. I think it'll help you propel yourself forward. And so a common thread, again, of these ramblings is love is super powerful. And if you know when it's happening, really lean into it. Let it be a powerful force that can heal you, because it's the people who are being selfish. It's the people who are, feeling that negative energy that you really, at least in the state of being a brain injury person, you really don't have a lot of extra energy. So try to spend time with people who energize you and support you. And I'm out there. I support you. I can't maybe do it directly, but I just want to let you know that you're not alone. So that's for today's reflection. And yeah, I don't have like a cool background because again, it's blurry. I have no idea. My life continues to be a blur in this era. So, okay. Talk to you next time.